or you can share it with your friends, or you can share it with your team members or whatever else you're doing. So a little 2 seconds about me. I've been doing this digital strategy for about a decade now. I started working, I've been a forward-facing influencer. So somebody who works with brands and does social media posts and gets paid for them and goes and travels and does all those things. I've also been a behind the scenes publisher. I own a few different websites that are content-based sites that we run ads on, that we do brand work on. We have teams of writers. But most lately, I've been focusing more on the behind the scenes strategy. So a company will hire me, I'll go in and help them build a digital strategy, whether it's forward-facing social media or an influencer type project, and then I'll get out. I very, very frequently go in and train staff and then leave, and then they come in and have me help or refine their strategy as they move forward. I also do a lot of business development with my clients. So if I've got a client who comes to me for a sole purposes of being an influencer or starting a small business, I kind of work with them for a few years, and we build awesome businesses. So yes, I do live on Salt Spring. I'm a mom here. I've got a bunch of kids. I'm very involved in poultry. If you have chickens, then we probably know each other. You guys, then you might know me from the poultry club. Things like that. So I'm a well-rounded Salt Springer. And so I kind of get the vibe here a little bit. I've been to the cottages, I've been to the mercantile, I've been to Country Grocer, I've been to Choices. I got something from you guys from Christmas for my mom. Shannon, I haven't experienced your work yet, but I'm sure I will get to.
No.
So I know your businesses quite well, and I can understand some of your challenges. So you can take notes. As you know, I will be giving you some ebooks that you can work through in your own time. Those, they're hardy. I'm not going to say they're not light, they're hardy. And I also will be here to answer questions. I don't leave. Just after our month is up, I'm still here. You can still DM me questions. You can email me questions, and I'm more than happy to help. Okay? So everybody take a deep breath. You ready? I'm getting my chalice. I'm going to pour it. I'm going to go through each of the platforms, and we're going to kind of understand the purpose of what they are. There's no sense in us saying, well, I think I should be on this platform if there's no relevancy to our targets and our goals for our business. Okay. And when I say targets or goals, some of those targets could be driving traffic to websites. So for the cottages, we want people to go to the website, go to the booking site and see more information. For Country Grocer and Choices, we're going to want to know what people are going to want to know what's in store and in stock. We're going to want to let them know about features or specials. And all of these businesses that you guys have, part of what makes Salt Springs such a unique and awesome community is that these businesses are part of the community, and they show the island, and they show that they are involved with the island. So that's another huge part of that social media. It's that awareness and that promotion of what you guys are doing as a brand. We know that majority of women are purchasers, and women purchase because they have relationships, and they purchase from a company that has values. So when we're able to dive into that, especially with our digital messaging, we're able to have a warmer lead or a warmer conversion, right? Give them a person. Why would they choose, one place over another? What is the difference going to be to make them get that conversion? For each of your businesses online or here, there is a lot of competition on the island when we look at our target market, especially location-based and everything else. So it really is about pulling out what is so special about you and how can we make that obvious online when we're communicating. We can also touch into other things you guys can do that are offline, and we'll kind of do that later on down the course. So if you've got specific questions about partnerships with different websites on Salt Spring or using influencers, Keely, that could be something that you guys might want to tap into to get more exposure. Totally happy at doing that. Okay. Yeah. So when we look at Facebook, Facebook is still our #1 platform. It has the most people on it, but it doesn't have everybody on it. It doesn't have people that are it doesn't have active users that are kind of under age 25. So if that's your client and your target market, that's not a platform that we really want to tap into. Facebook is absolutely your go-to platform for women age 35 to 65. We are so good at that platform. We live it and we breathe it, and we get sucked into it. We understand how it works, and we understand what to do on it. Facebook is still our #1 driver for referral target URLs, so referral links. Okay, so it is the #1 social platform that will take people to your website. All right, so our objective and our goal with Facebook, what Facebook wants from us is that we are community-minded users. Facebook's #1 goal is that we don't take people off their website, right? They want people to stay on their site because then they can serve more ads. Our #1 goal is to get people off their website and either into our store or onto our website. So we need to balance that and feed the Facebook algorithm with all the good stuff that Facebook wants, while still achieving our goals, okay? But if your market is women, which I'm going to say every single one of you probably is. Women are still the conversion people, the decision maker, even with travel. Then Facebook is a platform to be on. It needs a lot of maintenance because the platform itself has a tricky algorithm that's been consistently monitored. Facebook needs a pattern and a routine for maintenance to be an active page. So this is one of those things. Every single one of these platforms is a can that we open that has worms that spill out, right? So we need to decide if we're going to use this platform as a placeholder that says, hi, I'm a business, I exist, this is my business card, or if we're going to have it as an active community that we're using to drive forward marketing messages, okay? Which means that if we're not having it active, we should probably still have a Facebook page so that when people are searching online, our name comes up and we're validated as a legitimized business. Facebook has groups, Facebook has reviews, Facebook's an excellent place to host videos so people can see video content. It has an extremely succinct search engine, and Facebook is also tied to a very, very intuitive ad account, our ad system, so that we can fine tune ads either to our followers or to people in a specific demographic or to people who are specifically interested in an interest of a type. Definitely say 99 out of 100 businesses should have a Facebook platform, and it should be a moderately active or healthy account, okay? So how do you know if it's not healthy? You know because you're posting things and nobody's seeing them. Okay, the algorithm works that when we put something up on Facebook, Facebook's going to measure the results of that post within the first minute. And they're going to say, is this really good or is this not good? If people aren't engaging with it or reacting with it or seeing it quickly, they will slowly start to reduce the reach of that post. So we want to make sure that what we're doing on Facebook is the right stuff to do. And we'll dive deeper into Facebook, like full on strategy as well. But that's kind of the succinct idea of it, is breaking news, engagement type content. So content that gets our fans talking about us, working on pushing up our vanity likes or our vanity following. So we've got size of market that we can drive ads to, right? And then using all of those resources that Facebook gives us, the videos, the lives, the albums, all of those lovely features to kind of give a really robust view of what our business does. Okay, this is a mini website of sense, right? So we want to make sure that it really represents who we are and what we're doing. And then we go to Instagram. Who loves Instagram? Keely, you're supposed to put up your hand. Oh, yeah, Janice does? Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Instagram demographic is shifting a little bit older, but it is still kind of towards that 25, 22, up to 45 kind of age group is kind of our main target. The wonderful stuff about Instagram is that people are really allowed to get a sense, a feel, an emotion about what our business does, right? By looking at our account. The personalities and values of our business can really come out on Instagram. Okay, so it hits all of those values-based reasons that millennials and Generation Z likes to purchase from. It's either cool, or it's hip, or it's fun, or it's engaged. You know, even for Country Grocer, the grads, like the high school has an Instagram account, right? The kids, or the leadership group is running Instagram. These kids are engaging on that platform. So that's a place that target market is. Moms are still on Instagram. And it's great because Salt Spring is still very new and fresh on Instagram. When we go and look at who is using Salt Spring as a location or a hashtag, our feed is very small, right? Like, we're very niche. So it is really locals, or it is people traveling here. So part of what we need to do is, when we're posting on Instagram, we want to make sure that we are location identifying. Okay, so we are saying we are from Salt Spring. We're using all of those wonderful tags. We are engaging and sharing back and recognizing when people are using those tags and tagging us. Barb's does a great job on Instagram. I tag them in a post and they immediately bang that right up on their stories. Instagram as well gives us all of these wonderful features. They give us our main feed, which is our curated feed, how we want to be represented kind of in our best clothes. And then they give us our stories, which allows us to be a little bit more behind the scenes and a little bit more face-to-face with our clients and our customers. So they get a better taste of who's behind the business. They also give us reels, which are now short videos played to music that's trending. So we can get creative, we can get fun, we can do kind of some crazy things. And then we have IGTV, which was, you know, they really tried with IGTV. It didn't take off super great, but it is a place for you to host videos in a unique stream. Okay. So with Instagram, again, it's a kettle of worms, or a can of worms. As soon as we open that up, we want to make sure we've got an active account. Okay, we've got our handle. We are posting regularly. I'm going to give you guys some numbers of posts so you can really start to measure the cost benefit of actually opening up these platforms before we end today as well. We want to be using all of the features they give us. Instagram, Facebook, all of these platforms are so proud every time they come up with a new feature. So they're going to boost the algorithm on those features. So we want to make sure that we are trendy and we're taking and using the features that they're giving us. And we want to make sure that, again, we are following people within our community and we are engaging back and forth with people when they're talking to us. Okay, somebody's monitoring the direct messages on these accounts, somebody's monitoring the tags. All right. Instagram used to be my most hated platform, but now it's better. It's got more purpose and more meat to it, and it's doing a better job of allowing us to refer to websites, which is always my number one target is conversion and sales. And Instagram is doing a much better job of giving us the features to do that now. So it's not as bad as it used to be. It's much better. Who's got active Instagram for their business? Yay, two out of 4. That's okay. 2 out of 5. Hopefully everybody by the end of this, because it is trendy and hip and it's good, and it will give you location notices as well, right? Which would be great for Mercantile. People get off the ferry, they've got location notices coming up. And then we have Twitter. Twitter is a platform that is geared that, the most popular demographic on Twitter is men. Usually a post higher education male, 35 and up, highly educated. And that's kind of the global version of Twitter. Okay. Twitter as a business can be an excellent source for direct trending and tagged content. Okay. There's one local company that does a very good job of Twitter. BC Ferries does a great job of Twitter. If you look, and if you're on Twitter, the very first place I go for trending news from BC Ferries is on Twitter. If you tweet BC Ferries, what are the lineups like in Fulford, they will tell you. You can direct message. I lost a shoe on BC Ferries once and I direct messaged them. It was lost in the parking lot. They sent somebody there and they brought it to me on the ferry. So it can be a really, really good of instant customer service But again, it's only going to be useful to you if somebody is monitoring the account and actually using that as a resource. It's a great way to broadcast. It's a great way to promote partners if you've got them, because everybody loves to be tagged. But it is more breaking news or backlink promotion. So driving people to a large quantity of content that you're producing versus 1 or 2 singular pages. Okay. Twitter again can be hashtag search. So we're putting in our location hashtag Salt Spring Island. So people can funnel that into a feed that's specifically for us. Rafi uses Twitter a lot. It's one of his favorite platforms. He's very vocal on Twitter and engages globally with his Twitter account in that way. Any questions so far? How are our brains? They okay?
Lots of little questions with each of the platforms you've talked about, but we'll
Perfect. Okay, well that's good. We're gonna have so much. We'll go right back over them, and we'll kind of start from the beginning. If that works. Only 4 more left. Did you know that? Pinterest. So Pinterest is a platform that it's about key life moments. It targets both men and women, funnily enough. It targets somebody who's more visual than content-based or writing-based. So these are people searching. But it is about dreams. It's about aspirations. It's about goals. It's kind of your sense of vision boarding, right? It is a travel platform. It is a wedding platform, a key events, birthdays, babies, renovating my house. I would say a company that is pushing, well, travel would be good. Any sort of renovation services, decoration, art, wellness, things like that do really, really well on that platform. Fortunately / unfortunately, all of those pins that we create that create our Pinterest board and profile need to be supported by rear-facing content on our website. So us just pushing forward something that's visual like we would on Instagram needs to have a full article behind it that's linked on our website to actually deliver a warm lead to us. Okay, so it is a referral platform. Done well, it can drive a high volume of traffic to your website. If you've optimized your pins, you've created an aspiring board feeling, and you have worked that account regularly. Pinterest does like a high quantity of activity. It doesn't want, none of these accounts want passive users. They don't want businesses to use their platforms for free and then drive a ton of business. They want active, engaged, community-minded social media members. Anybody like Pinterest? Anybody feeling Pinterest? It's kind of our least appealing. You a little bit, Shannon? Shannon's like, I'm going to be difficult.
Because of the art.
Yeah, it could be really good for you to be able to show and display, and also for the courses and the retreats and things like that. These are vision boarding and aspiration type things.
It's the vision boarding for sure.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And then my favorite platform out of all the platforms in the whole entire world is YouTube. Is that? Yay, YouTube, love it. YouTube is, I'm a very, very data-based person. I like numbers. I like looking behind the scenes and seeing what these things that we're doing are actually working. YouTube is a really, really easy to hack platform because it really is based on our keywords, our quantity of posting, our length of video, and we can see exactly what people are doing when they come to our channel. YouTube is a place, of course, to host video. It's a freestanding platform, although it is not a very good platform for referrals or redirecting people to your website, okay? It is a great platform for people to learn or search or find your business globally through your descriptions and your keyword tagging of your videos, all right? I do videos on chickens and farming. So for me, it's awesome. My YouTube account is monetized. It does very well, and it runs itself. It doesn't bring me clients because it's just pure content. Most of the people that we've got on YouTube we've got a higher male demographic, funnily enough, because, well, not funnily enough, it makes total sense. When they go into Google and they type how to do something, when you do that in Google, the first thing that comes up are video options. And men, being so visual, click right over to the videos and watch it. So we can do things like that. We can be very, very specific about answering a question or providing a solution to a problem when we're creating our videos. And that's how they're going to do very, very well on YouTube. Building out our descriptions and tagging our videos is, again, super user friendly. And it really is just about the quantity of content we're uploading so that we can saturate the keywords and get our videos showing up in suggested videos or referred videos. Okay. Great platform. Anybody feeling video? Oh, I'll have you unmute there, Rob. You're muted for me.
I just use it to place videos, but I don't really try to drive
anything.
now. I just,
Okay, so it's just a holding platform for you. Yeah. Okay. Well, you might as well use it for both, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because it's,
I haven't done that.
Yeah. I love YouTube. It's my favorite. So I've got a couple of videos that do very well in there. But like you said, if you're creating video that you don't want to drive directly to social and you want to host on your blog, YouTube is a great hosting place. We can just embed the videos right into a content post. But we might as well go that extra step and recognize that as a search engine, it is Google. Right? It is the largest search engine. And so we might as well optimize the content that we're putting on YouTube so that we're getting that extra win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's great. My husband, and of course, our second strongest demographic on YouTube is kids under 18. Right? So we do have a huge reach. It's a visual platform. It's becoming a streaming platform. And it's I think any mother with a cell phone or an iPad, YouTube is on there because that's where her kids are going, right? Minecraft videos, Roblox videos, all of these different things. So part of it is us creating or saying, is that demographic our target market? And if it is, how can we create content that in a values-based way gets our messaging out to this demographic, right? Summer camp on Salt Spring Island, right? Create your own summer camp at our cottages, right? And it's kids jumping off and everybody's having fun and woo, this is so fun, right? Things like that. So we're tapping into those keywords in that search engine. And then, of course, we have that wonderful platform that we all love to hate, TikTok, which is it's extraordinary. It was, this is a platform that was our earliest adopters were, of course, Generation Z, which are 10 or 11-year-olds to 22-year-olds, 24-year-olds, I think, is kind of the Gen Z gap. Brilliantly creative. Extraordinarily creative. I find this generation, and they've created this TikTok platform that is so creative and so based on just that awesome witty humor of that demographic. It can be a little intimidating to jump in there and play, but as a brand, if you do it well, you can create an extraordinary drive to your brand and your product. Okay, you can make it cool, like you can make it neat, you can make it relevant if we're targeting that. Okay, anybody on TikTok? Keely, yeah, a little bit. You scroll, right, Keely?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Video.
You create on TikTok or just scroll?
I've done it like twice, and it was when I got really bored during quarantine.
Yeah, so I said, I might as well. And they're much like your Instagram Reels in a sense, right? Instagram Reels are even more user friendly, and they're quick videos. They auto-populate. They scroll through. It's easy to like. It's easy to heart. We've got behind-the-scenes sponsorship going on, but not a lot of forward-facing ad work yet. So there's not, each account doesn't create its own money forward-facing from views, but behind the scenes, there's a lot of money happening. My kids love it. My kids are non-social kids. They are not broadcasters. They are users of social media, but I created an account just so I could learn the algorithm and they were mortified. So Yeah, it's not a Gen X platform, although there's lots of Gen Xers on there now, but my kids wouldn't let me. And then the last, I mean, we also have Snapchat. We've got all these other platforms as well. They're, I would say, are in a sense micro platforms, and they're a little bit less user friendly in regards to driving brand messaging, which is what you guys are, right? But they are still there. And if they do excite you, we can tap into those and I can tell you how to use them as a business. But I kind of think that they're more micro platforms, okay? I kind of think these are your biggest ones and kind of went down the list in terms of what I feel are your priority focuses. Lastly, of course, we have what you influencers. And I would almost say influencers for the objective of user generated content. And we can say influencers / customers who are also social media users who can represent your brand on social media for free, organically, accidentally, in negative and in positive ways. And so part of being active on these accounts as a business is being able to monitor the conversation about your brand from other people. Okay, somebody goes into your shop, they're on Twitter, they're sending out nasty tweets. You guys aren't even on Twitter, or you had an old Twitter account, it's not being monitored, and suddenly the world blows up. And you're saying, why is all this hate coming at me? And it's because there's been this whole conversation about you that you haven't participated in because you're not actively monitoring the accounts. So we've got to remember that there is people there, you know, people are having conversations about businesses on these accounts. And so if they are relative to our target demographic, or if we have accounts that are inactive, we should either close them or keep up with them. Okay. So who's all in for Facebook, right? Yeah, we're all in for Facebook. So what we need to do, this is where I start giving out easy homework and easy things for you guys to get started on, because I want you to come back next week already seeing a bit of a shift and a change in what you're doing on social media, okay? So the strategy for Facebook, I mean, we want to make sure our housekeeping and our administrative work is all up to date. There's, you know, go back through your about pages, go back through your featured images and your logos and all of those types of things, and make sure that your admin is up to date. Having an out of date social account is, you know, it's having out of date information, the wrong phone number on your business card. So just do that 1, 2, 3 cursory audit of your accounts before next week. Number one. Number two, with Facebook, whenever I give a strategy for Facebook, I always try and, or for you guys, I'm always going to give it in percentages. Okay, so I'm going to say 30% of this or 25% of this, because if I tell you how many posts to post, you'll probably get overwhelmed right away. Okay, quantity isn't always the winning decision for social media. Done well, the higher quantity usually delivers faster results, okay? But it has to be done within the correct algorithm strategy. We can't just flood it with links. We can't flood Facebook with links to our website and expect anything to happen, okay? So when we look on Facebook, my suggestion is, and we'll use this as an example, is to do 3 posts a day on Facebook. And this is where I look at everybody's faces. Okay. And they're all like, what? 3 posts? But I do a post every month and that's enough. And that is for an average business. Okay. This isn't necessarily maybe for a business that is pushing out sales or flyers or discounts or something like that, or has tons of trending information. If we're talking about something like that, we would go to 30 posts a day kind of thing. So 3 posts a day. But we're going to break it down even farther. We're going to say one of those posts should be something that is really just solely posted to engage your fan base. Okay, so it's posted to ask an open-ended question, you know, honeydew or cantaloupe, right? I mean, there's a huge divide between people who will eat a cantaloupe and people who will eat a honeydew. You bring a cantaloupe into this house and I'm blocking the door, right? So giving them a question that they can answer that is not making them feel vulnerable, that is not having them state any sort of scary views or opinions or ideas or, you know, share anything personal about themselves. It is really just a light, fun question, right? It's sharing a photo and or sharing a, you know, using that question format on Facebook and saying, describe your day in memes, right? Give us something like that, that excites them enough and makes it easy enough for them to comment. All right. When somebody comments or shares our Facebook post, it will show up in their newsfeed on Facebook, which means their friends will see your post with their comment underneath it, which allows us to organically reach, without ads, friends of our fans. That makes sense? Okay. You know, and I'll use specific business ideas for you guys as well, right? But Keely, even you guys, show a picture of the cottages in summer and show a picture in winter. You know, what would be your dream vacation, winter or summer? And they'll be going down, oh, summer, I just wanted da 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 da. Oh no, give me winter. I love it when it's crisp and cool, or fall or spring. And now people are saying the cottages on Salt Spring, where's that? That looks cool. And you're starting to organically get that reach of the post, organically get people to come over. Okay. You'll have friends of your friends commenting on your post, even if they aren't your fans. And then we're put in a wonderful position of, we can go through our invite feature, and I'll show you how to do that to get those people to actually become solid fans of your page. So 1 out of every 3 posts, we want to be an engagement post. We want to be something that is non-threatening and easy for them to respond to like, to comment, to share. Okay. The second of the 3 posts, we want to be content that is relevant to our brand, relevant to our fan or our client demographic, but is shared from another site on Facebook.
Sorry, could you say that again?
Yeah. 2 out of 3. Second post is a post that is relevant to our values as a business, so our brand, and is relevant to our client demographic, but is not our content, and it's shared from another place on Facebook. Okay. This one feeds into that. What is Facebook will tell you their whole reason for being is to create community. It's not, it's to have people on Facebook. So when we're
ads.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, because then they can make money.
That's the trouble with Facebook, and I have such a, you know.
I know it's, and you see they tend to flood to the ads. But that's their goal, is to keep people there. So if we're feeding that algorithm of sharing Facebook content to our Facebook page, Facebook is saying, oh, that's good. They're part of the community. We like this page. They're good. That can be like for Keely, that can be you sharing Alan Hancock's artist page, right? His beautiful paintings that he does. We are sharing local artisan information. We're sharing local travel information. We're sharing how to make a cantaloupe smoothie, right? It's irrelevant, the content that we share, as long as what we're doing is sharing it from somebody else, okay? Again, this is information that our fans would like. If our fans are women, you can share 1,000 pictures of big, chunky, cozy knitted blankets, right? We love that stuff. We love coffee cups with hearts on them. We love warm, steamy mugs. We love, you know, spring gardens. Reach your demographic and use this content to attempt to elicit some sort of feeling from them, because that's going to elicit action. Yes, Shannon.
But it's not our content. So it's not our warm, fuzzy sweaters or our flowers in our garden.
No, it's somebody else's. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so what you can get this content just by following other accounts that are related to your target market. Okay. Which is what it gets really fun for people like Keely, who are running social media for another person or another business where their demographic may not be them. We have a social media business. We had 50 clients at once. You know, some were targeting 18-year-old boys, and some were targeting, you know, women who like this. And my Facebook feed is wonderful for anybody to sit on, because it's so varied and creative, right? Because I followed just everything to try and get this content.
I was just gonna ask you, so would we do like another clothing store or a
I
something?
would do something different. So
Yeah.
I would do Vogue, right? I would do colors, design, travel, packing tips, right? If you guys are moving in and you've got a new line coming out that is, kind of, travel wear, I would start sharing information that's, kind of along those lines, right?
Yep.
It's about saying the person that I want to buy this item or make this purchase, who are they and what would they be interested in, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's cross-pollination.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just kind of sharing back. And then, in this community, you guys can too. You'll get to know each other. We'll kind of go through this together and you can start seeing what each other's doing and sharing amongst your pages. And we create this wonderful little hotbed of community, right? Because each of these moments that we do that, we feed back into our own account, right? We're all Salt Spring. So everybody who comes to this island is a potential target or client. Target, client, same thing, right? So we want to make sure that we're all feeding that algorithm in the same way. Okay.
I just did that.
You just did that. Good job. So the third post of the day, we can directly promote ourselves. Okay. So this is a post that directs people back to something on our website or some sort of action and conversion we want them to take that will benefit our business. Okay, it could be sign up to our newsletter. It could be, do you know we're on Instagram? It can be check out this post because we've got a coupon here for you. Or, we've got bookings available for this weekend. Or we've got, hey, look what's in store. It's this new thing. Tell us if you come by and use the code Facebook and we'll give you 5% off, right? It's things that are directly selling your business, okay? I liken this strategy to the cookies and broccoli. Okay. And I liken Facebook to being a really angry, frustrated toddler where it wants what it wants when it wants it. So our goal as people attempting to tame this toddler only wants cookies. They only want us to share pictures and memes and viral content. But as a business, as a parent, we need to get the broccoli into the baby, right? So we're going to give Facebook, post number 1 is cookies. We're giving them engagement content. Post number 2 is cookies. We are giving them content from their platform that is already doing well. Post number 3, we're going to sneak in a piece of broccoli. Okay. And that's the healthy content that we need for our business to be successful. Does that make sense? I use a lot of analogies and they're not all going to be good. So I'm going to warn you about that right now. Okay. So that's your really super simple step 1 on how to publish on your Facebook page in a healthy, organic way where the Facebook algorithm will be okay with it. Okay. So that's our goal for next week is for y'all to go away, start with kind of that rhythmic posting. If you need to increase your posting, every time you increase a broccoli post, you need to increase the cookies as well. Because Facebook's smart. People often say, is there a good time to post? On Facebook, absolutely. We want to post when our fans will see it. Okay, we can look in our insights and see when our fans are online. But our goal is that as soon as we post, our fans are available and seeing our content. Okay, for most demographics, or for most of us targeting this feminine demographic, which I think we all are, that's usually like 8 or 9 in the morning, right? We've walked the kids out to the bus. We're just sitting down. We're scrolling through Facebook. It's usually noon. And then it's again at about 6 o'clock at night. Okay. The good news is all of this can be pre-scheduled, but I highly recommend you use the Facebook in-platform pre-scheduler. Okay, it tends to just do better from my experience.
What did you call it?
The Facebook in-app scheduler. So when we go into Facebook, we're saying we don't want to publish this now. We want to publish it later and it'll bump us over to our Facebook creative, and we'll be able to schedule that content out moving forward versus using a third-party plugin like or platform like Buffer or Loomly or any of those systems that are kind of connected to your Facebook through an app. Facebook doesn't like to play with others except for Instagram because
they own it.
they own it. That's right. But they don't like YouTube links on their page. They don't like tweets on their page. They don't like things like that because they're not their friends. They're their competition, right? So we want to be respectful of that platform. The good news is they've given us a global platform to market our business for free if we do it right? Which is kind of cool. Like you could reach billions of people if you do this correctly. Okay, so that's your strategy for Facebook. Are you all okay with that?
Mhm.
Yes, Shannon.
Step one, though, for those of us that don't really do Facebook, is to look up some YouTube videos on Facebook.
Yes, well, we can walk through it. I'll absolutely walk through how to set up your page if you want.
Yeah, so I have a page that I don't use.
Okay.
That's pretty much blank. But should it be me or?
No, so let's go to Facebook. Now this is where I always preempt you and say I have active social media accounts. So when I screen share with you guys, my accounts are active. I am a mid-40s, late 40s woman. So most of my activity is fairly innocent, but we will get direct messages as we're in here. Okay, so let's go. We have 2 different platforms for Facebook that they've given us. I'm going to share a screen with you, which means I'm going to take over your screen, but don't be scared. So this is our Facebook platform. This is my timeline. So this is what I see when I scroll through. I'm going to see all of this stuff, anything that is from a group I'm in, any of the friends I'm following. I'm going to be served ads, pages I've liked, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to have shortcuts. I'm going to have groups. I'm going to have things like that. But then if I go over to a page, let's go over here. We can go over to a page that we own. So as a business, we want to operate as a page, not a personal account. This allows us to have, Facebook will cap our friends. They will not cap our fan base, okay? So when we have a Facebook page, we're able to then publish consistently, have our business set up, have, video files, about sections, business information, and manage and engage with our inbox in a different way. So this is where we want to be posting on Facebook. When we do that initial post, we're just clicking create a post. We are writing how do we spell that? Cantaloupe. I don't even know. There it is. Cantaloupe or honeydew. Oh, something isn't working. We're having problems here. I have a really hard time typing when people look at me, but I have to do it all the time.
We'll close our eyes while you're doing this.
Yeah, that's right. Cantaloupe. Is that it?
No.
It's not. It's okay. So it's being really funny on us right now for some reason, and that will happen. Okay. Salty or sweet. So, because we can't spell cantaloupe. When we do some sort of engagement post like this, Facebook gives us these sweet little filters in behind, and they're really good to use because Facebook likes those. They've put them in there, right? So we can just do that quite easily and press post, and our post will be live to our feed immediately, okay? Or we can, let's see, schedule our post through Creator Studio, and then we're going to get bounced over to our content library and our post timelines. This will be everything that you schedule out for your page within the Facebook app, okay? And now it's going to have us redo our post. And then we can share it via schedule, and we can share it in 1 minute if we want, and we'll see how it does as well. And it will do that for us. And it will show in our scheduled content over on the left what posts we have coming up. So if we go over to an active page, let me go over here. Gotta get you guys out of my timeline. I'll show you what a heavily scheduled face will look like. My goodness, you can see that I have teams for this, right? Goodness, get me back. There we go. So let's go over here and we'll go over to our Creator Studio. And we will schedule a post. And we will see, hopefully, our social media manager has this card given us an active content library. Yeah, so this is all content that has been either published, oh, it hasn't, there's nothing being scheduled right now, or shared to our account, right? So this is where our social media manager goes in on Creator Studio to manage out our week's posting of content, okay? We can see who posts it, when they've done that, and how they've scheduled it. Normally, we'd have a list of scheduled content in there as well, okay? I would suggest, even to begin with, you guys just operate on that forward-facing, create a post and publish it, unless you're doing a high volume of content out there. Does that make sense, Shannon? Yeah.
In that post timeline,
Mm-hmm.
as a person thinking it sort of efficiently, can people plan ahead, like
Yeah.
a week ahead, and organize posts and then just have them go out?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can do it all on Monday and carry you through all week.
Absolutely. I would say 90% yes, or 75% yes, okay? Yes, for any of the content that is marketing your business. So the broccoli posts, I would absolutely pre-schedule ahead of time, because then you can really get out the, what am I trying to achieve with my marketing? I need to sell this, promote this, tell them about this, etc. And it's kind of a little bit more structured. Potentially yes, with our engagement content. So sharing of photos, getting their questions, open-ended questions, because those take a bit more creativity. Some of the content that you're sharing from other pages, so that second cookie post, it's better for that content, at least half of it, to actually be live content that we're posting, okay? Again,
What was that?
so live posting of
Oh,
content.
live posting.
So the system does know if we're scheduling out 100% of our posts, we're not acting like a normal person, are we? Right? And they do want a human element in there. I had this really neat job. I was working with a tech company, and they were an entirely AI company. So they would attach AIs to people's Facebook pages. As soon as somebody commented on the Facebook page, they'd get like a direct message saying, hey, you were interested in cantaloupes, right? And it was all like really intuitive and awesome. But after about 3 weeks, the AI was failing because it so took over the content, the Facebook pages, that the Facebook algorithm says there's nothing real about this. And so I was brought in to find real people with pages and work with them in regards to the live posting, so that we could oversaturate the live posting, so that when the AI came in, it all kind of balanced out.
Huh.
It was super cool. So we can't be too smart, right? We still have to be human. Yeah. Yes, Janice.
I was gonna say, because that's what got the politicians into trouble when
That's
they were
right.
posting that they were in
Yeah.
were in Ontario and they're happily down in the Bahamas.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, find that balance. But yes, I would say definitely it's going to be so much easier if you guys schedule out your marketing messages, right? So the broccoli posts. Yes, Rob. Oh, you're muted again on me.
It's because my dogs are barking sometimes. So there's some, I saw that on one of your pages, there was an impressions list. And then of course, we also see engagements.
Yeah.
There's all these various levels and numbers you see, and I don't really ever know what an engagement is or what is an impression.
Yeah.
Um,
So, and this is all where it all comes down to real data and irrelevant data. Okay. So when we look at the data, and what we'll do is we'll dive into the insights, like really deep into insights as well as we move forward. But when we look at data, the number one bit of data that you guys as business owners should be taking away is conversions. Right? Are you selling anything? Are you booking things? Are you seeing an increase in sales? And that will be, I would say, you know, for a larger business like Country Grocer, that is 6 or 8 or 12 months down the road of active social media. So that's our number one. And that's the only conversion we can't really get off of social media is conversions, right? Or data. So when we look at impressions is really just a math number that Facebook puts on your page, and they are guessing just by doing math on their end, how many people might have seen your post. Okay, so the impressions is how many people were scrolling through their timeline within the window that your post might have been pushed out there. Okay, so if your impressions say 1,000 people, odds, and you've got 10,000 fans on Facebook, it really is solely just a math number. It means very little. We can use that number to see what content Facebook feels is doing well. Okay, so if we see, 5,000 impressions versus 500 impressions, we know that the algorithm is telling us that this content is getting pushed out a bit more. The higher our engagements, and our engagements are likes, comments, and shares, or read mores, or see mores, or video views. Those engagements are people actually directly interacting with your content. Okay, so that is a way better number to measure and give to our, team than the impressions number.
So would that include actually seeing something come up on their page and look at it and then continue
And
scrolling on? But
they would see something on their page and they would interact with it some way. Okay, so I'll give you, again, I'm going to go back to Facebook and I'll give you some examples of what those interactions mean. So we're going to be on this page. Got to get you guys over here. So if somebody is in here and they are, in this one, we've got 210 engagements. So we know right away that we've got 89 people who've given us a like, a thumbs up, a laugh, a heart, a care. We've got 10 comments and we've got 29 shares. Okay, so that's all part of that engagement number. When we go into insights, in this one, we've got 504 before, we would kind of go through and see these. Not all of these engagements even matter, right? Not all of them are relevant. We're a content site. Our only goal is that our Facebook page has high engagement so that when we're posting links to redirect people to our website, we are getting the clicks over there because that's where we make our ad money.
How about people reached? What does that mean then?
This one?
Is that the impressions again you're talking about?
People reached is the impressions. Yeah,
Okay.
That's what, and that is, to me, it's only a number compared to other impressions, right? It's not a number that actually gives us any actual pure data. And all of the social media accounts will give you an estimate of people reached, just like when we look at, they sell ads in the same way, right? They sell newspaper ads. So a newspaper will say, buy a spread, we've got a distribution list, you'll reach 20,000 people. Well, how many of those people will open that ad? They don't know, right? How many of them are using it to line the bird cage or start the fire versus, people who bought, extras because they are packing dishes because they're moving, right? So the numbers are all, when we look at impressions, the numbers are all very, very loose. When we look at engagements, so the number of people that actually interacted with your post, commented, liked, shared, read more. Now we're saying, okay, we actually had a 2 or 3 second interaction with this person now. But then when we look at that third number, which is clicks or redirects back to our website, that's how we know we've actually now influenced that person to take action. Right? And that's that heftiest number, because now we can, you know, as a social media manager, you can go back if you are one and say, hey, I drove 20,000 people to your website and you're telling me you didn't get a single sale. I think we have a problem with the website, right? We don't have a problem with me. I'm doing a great job. Look at all these people I moved, but nobody's buying. It's either because we're not warming them up enough, we're giving them the wrong messaging, so they're confused when they get to the website and don't want to buy, or there's something wrong with our product or our conversion pages on our website, right? Because theoretically, the more people we move to our site, the higher our even point of sale conversion will be, right? So Rob, I worked with a company that had in-store product. I worked with a couple of them, in-store product, but I worked solely on digital. Okay, so I didn't touch any of where they put the product on the shelf or any of that. I worked solely on digital saturation of these brands. We saw a 40% increase in point of sale for the products just through digital saturation.
Seems like a catchword, digital saturation.
Digital saturation. So when we look at, when I look at social working, and this is working with influencers. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to have a whole lot of people talking about these products all the time. So every time you went online, you heard about these products, which allowed them, when they walked by these products on the store, to recognize them, have a relationship, and then buy them, right? So that's how we can kind of say, like, if you guys have products that you guys are bringing in or want to bring in, it's starting to call them out on social, that people, if you want to increase the sales, it's letting people know they're there. Yes, Janice.
Okay, so I'm always the odd one out, I think. So what did you think of the movie The Social Network?
I haven't watched it.
Oh my God, Julie, yeah.
I haven't watched it because I haven't wanted to, because I'm in advertising. And I know all the tricks. I'm a terrible person to market to, because I know very, very well how to market to somebody else.
The movie's about the ethics of this.
Yes. Yeah, it is.
It's also, like at my end, it seems ironic to be selling workshops and using Salt Spring as a reprise and advertising authenticity to get away from all this, using this to get the people here.
Yeah.
There is, but social has also allowed us a way to connect globally. This is where I can be the other half, right? We learn more now. We've got it at our fingertips. We can engage. We can have a deeper relationship with brands that we buy from. We can ask questions. We're all so much more involved in that buying process.
True.
I do say that there is globally, there's people we market to, and there's those who market, right? There is a line there. There is a thing. And doing it unethically is never the right way. But if we're marketing, for me, I was hired to market one product so that it was more well-known than the other products or other brands on the shelf, right? People were still going to buy these products, I think. My products were good. They were ethical products. I worked with Free Yum. You got Free Yums at the Country Grocer, the allergy-friendly kid snacks, granola bars. So, it's a good one. Yeah. Bulletproof was our big saturation campaign. So Bulletproof coffee was our big.
I thought you were going to say vests.
Yeah, no. Although it was a challenging one to operate or market just because of the name, to be honest. We had a lot of issues marketing anything #bulletproof. But they did invest a lot of money into digital saturation in terms of links, influencers, and marketing. Big company, right? Big company. Okay, so yes, we can do this ethically. Yes, we can do this in a way that is efficient with our time. And I always say too, when we're selling something, because this is sales as well, right? We're all trying to convert and get people into our shops or into our stores or our programs or our cabins. As long as we focus on offering a solution to a problem, then a sale is ethical, right? If we're saying that, if we believe and we truly are offering something that is a valuable solution to their problem, right? And we are saying, why are we the better choice? What do we have? Can we solve your problem? Then I look at sales as a good thing. We still allow the client to make that final purchasing decision. We are not lying. We're just making sure that they see our content, they understand our business values, they know what we have available for them, and we're leading them down that journey to make that conversion decision, right? People need to see things to be reminded or to do their research or to understand if they want that or not. But in the end, that final buying decision is our clients. We can only just hope that we are giving them the best product and service available, right? Okay, so go digital marketing. Just gonna turn my light on here, one sec. These early evenings. But yes, I worked with a couple agencies and they would ship out these huge boxes and all of these products. And I kept thinking, instead of doing this, why don't you just reduce the cost of your products? Like, it just makes so much more sense to me, but that's advertising, right? You're always looking for featured promotion. Okay, so we understand a generalized introductory Facebook strategy, right? I want to leave you with a generalized introductory Instagram strategy as well, because I also feel that that's a valuable platform. Are you guys okay to take that, or are you feeling heavy? You're okay? Bring it on. Okay. For Instagram, again, it's an active platform. It wants, I would say on average, a minimum of 5 posts a week. Okay, how are we doing? Are we okay? Yeah, nobody's crying yet. The posts on Instagram, when we do them, we don't want to look at each individual post. We want to look at what we call a grid of 9 or a grid of 6. So we're looking at how our 9 images together represent our brand. Okay, so it's kind of one of those, we look really big picture and then we sit back, we look really, really minor picture. Okay, so when we're thinking about that, we're seeing that journey when somebody comes to our account and what they visualize. We're going to break it up into 3s again for you, okay? Because I love that nice 3. So one post should be about your values as a business. Every single post we post can market our product or our brand, but they should do so in a values-based visual way, right? Where I think some businesses or grocery stores goes wrong is that it's just kind of the same image with a different product over and over and over again. And it's boring and it's dumb. We need to kind of tap into a little bit of art, a little bit of feeling. You know, we want to elicit emotion on Instagram. We want people to feel connected to us. So it's kind of sharing a little bit, one post that's about the values of our business. Who are we? That could be a staff pic, a welcoming staff pic. It should be a staff feature. It could be information right now, especially about COVID cleanliness, right? It could be sharing video reels of our facility so people know that it's safe to come in. It's kind of tapping into something like that, right? The second post should be specific. What are we selling today, right? What do we have available? Are we selling anything? Are we promoting anything? And then the third one is, again, diving into our clients' interests and goals. So if we feel that the people coming into our store are travelers or tourists, and we're trying to tap into that, we want to now start bringing in those Salt Spring pictures and the fact that this is a wonderful place to travel, so that we're kind of creating and curating this image and this feeling about who we are as a business and why somebody would want to come and spend time with us as a client or a customer. Okay, so that's kind of our general big picture concept. When we look at each micro image, so we're posting to Instagram, we are writing a description, right? We want to, again, explain what is this image? Why do we care? What's the purpose for writing it? Are we sharing a quote that inspired us that day? Are we telling people something that's factual about us? Are we trying to have them envision themselves in our product or in our situation? And so we're kind of letting them imagine something. We want to be a little bit creative with our write-up. When we go down to our hashtags, again, we want to be strategic and yet human, okay? Instagram has all sorts of secret hidden rules about these hashtags. We can post up to the 30. Don't always post a full load of hashtags. They don't like that. We want to vary the quantity, style, and theme of our hashtags. And I have a strategy for that for you too. So when we post a post, 1/3 of our hashtags should be specifically about the image that we're posting. Okay, so that is blue pants, right? Tomato soup, you know, hot soup, cold days, right? Instagram gets all millennial with their hashtags. They get all emotional and feely. So we want to be able to kind of do things that are specific to our post and our image. The second group of 10 hashtags, or second third of hashtags we want to do is specific to our target demographic. Okay, our target demographic for many of us, everybody except for Shannon, would be specifically Salt Spring Island, right? We are specifically looking for people who are looking under the hashtag Salt Spring Island to understand what we have available today, right? Salt Spring has a lot of great hashtags. We're Salt Spring Island, we're Salt Spring Island living, Salt Spring Island life, and these will all auto-populate for you as soon as you tap in Salt Spring, okay? That's kind of the second. If we're targeting women, if we're targeting a specific keyword that's related to our demographic, we also want to use that in that section, okay? If there is a keyword that you know specific to your product or service that is not maybe a global term, that's also good to use, right? There's words I use that nobody has, you know, my clients use and my target clients would use that a generalized person that I'm not trying to target wouldn't know. So it's okay to include those. The third batch of hashtags we want to use are hashtags that are solely related to size. Okay, so these are more global targeted hashtags, and they may or may not be relevant to some of the businesses here. When we search a hashtag on Instagram, it will tell us when we're trying to populate it into our post, it will tell us if it's less than 100 posts or, you know, 1.5 million posts on this hashtags. That's telling us the number of times people are using that tag, right? If we're only posting massive hashtags that are used 1.5 million, 2 million, 5 million plus times, the chances of people seeing our content by searching that hashtag are very, very slim. Okay, so we want to make that biggest pile of hashtags, you know, biggest reaching hashtags, some of our lesser used ones. We want to sit in that sweet spot of that 1,500 to 100,000, because the chances of us staying featured on that hashtag search page are going to be higher, right? Feel like I'm losing some of you, so everybody shake it off for a sec. And then we also want to do a smaller ranging hashtags that are solely niche to who we are. If I take a picture, again, of a chicken and I'm posting a Sultan chicken, there's not a lot of photos of Sultan chickens out there, but I don't care because that's who I'm trying to talk to, is people who have Sultan chickens, right? But then I'll use a grand hashtag like backyard chickens to reach a greater audience who might be interested in my Sultan chickens. Make sense? Yes, Janice.
Okay, I have never searched for a hashtag.
Okay, that's okay.
So can you do one on your share screen?
I can. I have to do it actually on my iPhone, but I'm going to show you how to do that. And I will also, next, I'm going to create some screenshots for you that we can work through as well on a share screen. But basically, when we're searching for a hashtag, we've got our hashtag search button. Oh, there's the light in the bottom corner beside the house. And we can search for Salt Spring Island under tags. Right there. And we have 159,000 Instagram posts about Salt Spring Island. Okay. They will give us an option to see the top posts or the most recent. Okay. What we are trying to do as a business is get in that top post bucket, right? We want to be a top post so that when somebody searches Salt Spring Island, we are the post that is being held on that top post page. And that will happen due to engagement on our post. But there's another button that says recent post, and that will show us the most recent posts under that hashtag. Okay, and that is where you're going to find your Salt Spring people who are on island and on Instagram, or talking about the island on Instagram, wanting to come to the island, right? So, and let's give you a practical use for this. Let's say we're following the Salt Spring Island hashtag. We see somebody posting and it's, you know, a post, and in their description, they say, oh, I was at Salt Spring 5 years ago. I just am so desperate to go back, right? The Cottages on Salt Spring likes their post. That person gets a notification. The Cottages follows that person. They go to the Cottages Instagram bio. They see that this is a location on Salt Spring that has units available for rent, and they click over to the website. Okay, so this is the practical application of why engaging or communicating on these hashtags relevant to our demographic can be valuable. Make sense? Good. So many shots of people at Fulford Ferry, right? Or heading to Salt Spring. Look at that view as they come in the harbor, right? If we're actively engaging with those people, right? A comment back saying, I hope you can swing by the Mercantile. We've got fresh bread out on the racks, right? Did you know that we sell liquor at the Mercantile down here if you're headed up to camp at Ruckle, right? So it's just about being there and engaging back and offering that conversation and awareness. Is that good? Good.
When you search for a hashtag, you're putting a hashtag in there, right?
I
And
am.
it's all one word, correct?
Yes, it is. Yeah. All
Without-
one word with the, yeah. And you don't have to put the hashtag symbol in front. You can just search a word. It will give you accounts, but you can go to tags on the option and it will give you the hashtags.
Okay.
Okay. Good. Okay. So how are we all feeling?
I have no idea how Instagram works, so I've got to sort of go deep.
Go deep. Yeah.
Separately
Part
to
of it
kind of figure
is
it out.
just getting going on it, right? So what I'll do is what we want to do is get onto Facebook, start operating under kind of the general strategy, seeing if it makes a difference, putting together a plan, going into Instagram, and we're going to dive a little bit deeper into that again next week. Okay, I'll get some more pictures for you guys. We'll break down the strategy a bit more. And we're going to dive into Instagram, Instagram stories. Okay, because Instagram stories are the behind the scenes stuff, and that's where it gets really fun and interactive. Okay, so start with Facebook. We'll slowly ramp up Instagram, and we'll go from there. Sound good? Okay,
Great.
I've got a couple questions for you now. In terms of supporting you guys over the next week, I can create a Facebook group for us all to kind of ask questions, and I can be in there. You can just say, I don't want to be on Facebook, and send me emails. I can send you my WhatsApp. You can ask me questions. What do you prefer?
Well, Facebook would mean that you wouldn't have to answer the same question over and over. So
Theoretically, the Facebook group is probably the easiest one for me to manage, but I also recognize not everybody likes to be active on their personal Facebook. So are you guys good with that? Okay, so I'm going to create that group, and I'm going to send the link to you all in an email, and then just join, and it's just going to be the 6 of us in there. Okay,
Thank you.
no worries. Any last questions? Don't be scared.
Julie, are we going to talk about setting up a website? Like, we don't have a website.
I can talk about it.
Mhm.
I can send you to somebody who can help you. Do you want I guess my question would be, you don't want to do online sales, do you, or do you?
At this point, Yolande is not ready for that.
Yes, yes.
I mean, she doesn't even do Facebook ever,
Yeah.
anywhere.
Yeah.
So that's for me to always keep it up. So
Yeah. Okay, so the website would more just be for a placeholder for search, right? A business account.
Yep.
I would say, I mean, cost of a website, you're looking, it'll take some time, effort, and maintenance to keep it updated, right? It's do you want to open the can of worms? You guys can promote your products and your brand very easily on social media. The only risk, fear, or problem with that is that you do not own your social media.
Yep.
Right? So what I might do instead of a website at the beginning is to create an email list.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what we can do is we can build an email list strategy so that you can stay in touch with your fans and your people in that direct way, and then use your social media as a product showcase.
I just want to connect again with the people in the group and who's who with which business. Janice, are you the clothing business?
No, I own Salt Spring Mercantile,
Ah,
but I'm also a chartered accountant and I also do business planning.
oh, good.
Salt Spring.
And Rob was Country Grocer?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I shoot videos
As well.
I'm a videographer as well.
And Keely?
I'm the assistant manager at the cottages on Salt Spring, and I am also taking over the marketing for them.
Ah,
Awesome.
and Sam?
Oh, well, I work at Choices. I mainly work with the clients. We're a storefront with a special needs program in the back for special needs adults. So I kind of have two hats there. I work with the clients and I work in the store.
Yeah.
And whenever there's any like Facebook stuff to do or photographs of new clothing, that's me. So that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
It's not Yolande.
Aren't you lucky?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone's on Salt Spring except one.
Nope. Everybody's on Salt Spring.
Everybody is on Salt Spring.
And Shannon, what about you?
Nice to meet you.
But
Yes.
yeah,
I'm a textile artist, and I had a gallery about 10 years ago here, a small gallery, and was on the studio tour. And I lived abroad for quite a few years. And I'm just setting up sort of inclusive and immersive textile teaching workshops. I have a B&B on the waterfront right next to the sailing club. And so that's what this is about. It's been very busy. And so I'm looking at expanding the B&B, doing more specialized, longer term stays with the coursework and a gallery space as well.
thank-
There you go. And I'm here. But I have great chickens if anybody wants a chicken. So that's the most important part. Oh, I think we just froze, did we? Are we all still there? I'm back.
Me
And
too.
there's Salt Spring for us. So that's awesome. Let's start with that. We lost. Hi.
Rob.
Let's start with that, Rob. What I'll do is I'll send you all the email. I'm going to send you the downloads for the ebooks as well. So you can get those and you can kind of dive into those. And those will really give you also some visual pictures of setting up accounts and things like that. And then we'll start chatting on digital. but the whole goal is that we're active, we're getting active, and we're going to come back with more questions, and I'm going to give you more strategies next week.
Great.
All
Thank
right?
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will get the recording and I'll upload it and I'll send you guys a link for that as well, just in case you want to watch back on anything.
Yes.
All right. But it was wonderful to meet you all.
Good to meet you too.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.